Hey, welcome to Happy Piano. Today I want to teach you guys, or at least explain to you guys, how easy it actually is to work out how to read music. Now, if you look at this here, I've got three examples here. One is quarter notes. You obviously have whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, sixteenths, and etc. etc. We're just going to work with quarter notes, eighth notes, and sixteenths because they're the ones that you play the most often. Okay, so here you have quarter note. Quarter note is basically a note. Each note is on the beat. So here, if you look at the right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by a whole note. Okay, so if you look at the left hand's played a little bit faster. But the best way, well, I do it, two ways. First of all, I split this note into 4. It's like maths, really. I split this into 4, and I say, okay, I put a line here. Okay, so these two notes are played with this. I put another line here, and these two notes are played with this, and then I put a line here, and so on and so forth. And then I know exactly how I'm supposed to play that. It's quite simple then. Let's see. So my theory, I've never played this song before, so let's see. So I'm like, we're up here, C, and you should just play slow. So that's basically what I just played. Sorry, I dragged the one. Actually, it's meant to be dragged. So yeah, it's fine. So that's how you do it. If you want to figure that out, let's see the next example. So here we have it's a little bit faster. Well, actually, this one's fast. This is actually faster, but on the right hand, so you've got like eighth notes, basically. So you can do it again. You can say, okay, this is a 4/4. This C means a common time, which is 4/4. But this time you've got eighth notes in the right hand, and then you've got obviously a half note here. So what we're gonna do here is here you count 1 and 2 and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. So again, if you split the notes up here, you play this for 1 beat, 2 beats, and 3 beats. And basically this ends here on the 3rd beat, and this will be the 4th beat. This goes for 2 beats. So let's see. We have a C, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Yep. Okay. Let's see. Just quickly. The last song. Okay, now we have 16th notes. These are faster. This one's it's not a bad example, but now we've got 2/4, which means you only have 2 beats in a bar. So this time you halve this one here, because these 4 notes will equal 1 beat. Obviously, you divide it. So every time it halves, basically. So you have a quarter note, and you have an eighth note, and then you have a 16th note, etc. So this time I halve it here, and only 2 ways. I split each measure into 2 because it's 16 beats. And then you count this. Obviously, the classic is 1 E and O, or 1 E and A, depending on where you're from, or do-di-di-dum, or whatever. A lot of people use different ideas. So 1 E and A, 2 E. Okay, 1 E and A, 2 E and A, for example. So it's just faster. Okay, so that's how you basically learn to read music. Second way is remembering how these sound. So if that's 1 E and A, you know how that sounds. And if you can keep the way each, because remember, it's all patterns, isn't it? It always repeats itself. It's always the same. It doesn't matter where you go. You just know how things sound eventually. Here, it's 2, 3, 2, yeah. Also, with these block notes or chords, you know how they look. There's only 3 versions of these. 3 main versions. Obviously, there's a lot more. But if you look at this going up in a row, missing out a note, is always a root chord. So here's a C. Here's a C. That's a C here. This is something that's often when you start off playing the piano, you always end up with a C, and then that's a G7 without the B, and then you're back to C. Actually, here, I can't see that good. Oh, this is a second inversion G. That's always the second inversion. When you see this note, let me see if I can zoom this in a bit, because it's not very good here. This note here, these 3 notes, that will always be a second inversion. So if you remember that shape, you can play every single second inversion. It takes a bit of practice, but once you know that this is the second inversion, you'll have no problem. Always looks like this, always this shape. Here you have, next to it, you have the C, that's the shape, root. And then there's one more here. This looks, no, this doesn't look like it at all. This is kind of a major 7. Let's see if it has another one. Okay, this was a bad example because it doesn't have the 3rd version. Let me see if the other songs have the 3rd version. Let's see. Will it let me down or not? Okay. Nope. All right, so typically the 3rd version looks, oh, here it is, isn't it? That's the 3rd version here. Aha. Hasn't let me down. Okay, so the 3rd version always looks like this, or this right next to it. So if you remember that, that's the 3rd. That's always played like this. So it's kind of like the 1st, the 5th finger, the 2nd finger, and the 1st finger. It will always look like this. So if you remember that, you'll be fine. Yeah. So anyway, just a quick tip on how to read or help you along learning to read music a little bit easier. Obviously, I'm going to expand on this stuff a bit more later, but yeah, I hope this helps you a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.